By the time we get to the Grand Prix, he could have wrapped it all up with 3 points needed in the sprint race on the Saturday. We'll get to that bit later. Here's what we've got tonight. 3.367 miles of a track distance, top speed of nearly 214 miles an hour, 16 corners, 6 to the left.
Okay, so let's get cracking. Qatar then.
Hardness, basically. I think no, it could have been C0 to C3. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The track has been resurfaced recently, and yeah, not many teams brought upgrades to this weekend. Actually,
Oh.
I think it was only Alpine, AlphaTauri, and another team which I can't remember. That's brought upgrades.
Well, fair enough. This is also a circuit that's only been used once for F1. It's the same circuit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Before I go mad. And that was during the pandemic. And if memory serves, they weren't going to use this one again. They were going to create a whole new track, weren't they?
I believe they had that plan originally, but I'm not sure if they are going to end up doing it.
Yes, I was going to say, we've got a Grand Prix track. Let's make another one. There's a fly in that ointment of logic somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously this track was originally built for MotoGP mainly, which raised a few eyebrows when we first raced here. Oh my god, Red Bull Garage is doing... They're having a race there.
Yeah, they've got a disco on there. Anyone with epilepsy, look away now.
That is strongly advised.
I like it. I would.
I think they're just playing with the lights just to take some pictures or something.
I would imagine someone's half pulled out a power cable and it's a little bit tweaked. Anywho, so this is the first weekend of the year that Max can officially win the championship, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think he only needs to score 3 points.
So
he could literally finish 6th in the sprint race and win the championship.
It's not likely. I mean, with his performance recently, he'd be very lucky to get even a point. I mean, not win. I mean, in all likelihood, he's going to win it in the sprint.
Yeah, I presume so.
I mean, let's face it, the only person he's got to fight is his own teammate, which keeps, as of Suzuka, yeeting it off the road and into people. And with like qualifying
really low on the grids.
Yeah, and let's also face it, like 100 and something point gap. I mean, it's really going to be such a challenge for Max to win this one. But Qatar qualifying. I'll be honest, I haven't managed to find time to see the FP1. Do you have any updates for us on what the relative pace was? I mean, are there any surprises, outliers out there at all?
I haven't either, actually, because I came home super late from class, but I think I've seen that Mercedes were like barely in the top 10 with Russell.
I do know something about that. They only ran mediums. That I do know.
Oh, okay.
That one I was aware of because I heard Ted Kravitz say it.
Okay. Well, I can check the results.
We're already.
Obviously, not sure how representative they're gonna be.
Well, we're already into qualifying, so we'll see what the actual pace is pretty quickly. I mean, this is we're not using the alternate method of hard tyres, medium tyres, soft tyres, so it's going to be Q1, 2 and 3 as per normal. So we'll know very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I guess seeing Alonso up in P4 and Yuki in P6 could... Oh wait, and actually Hulkenberg P7 could be interesting surprises. But then again, it's only FP1, so it's not really going to be... Well, considering they only have this practice session, you'd assume that they aren't necessarily just messing around.
Well, you never really know when it comes to practice, particularly when they've only got one session. You get glory runs from some teams as well. As the Alpines come out side by side with each other, I think that was weird.
I think one of them didn't turn enough. I think it was Ocon. Just forgot to turn.
Well, he does usually tend to turn into his teammates. It's true.
On?
Every time Perez was his teammate, and every time they were side by side, they weren't side by side. They were trying to get into each other's cars.
I remember that.
Okay, so we have Max starting his flying lap, and it looks like half of the competitors are still coming out of the pit lane.
Out of the pits, yeah.
So,
That's not really ideal.
who was holding them all up in the pit lane? 'Cause that was really strange.
I don't know either.
There was a big train there for no reason. Do you have any factoids about the track by chance? Because all I do is I see... I don't see an interesting track particularly here. It's not to my liking. And the more I look at it, are you sure we didn't drive this on a pre-GP? Because that first sector looks very familiar.
I'm pretty sure. Because it was only introduced in F1 23.
Okay. What was
But yeah, I think this is definitely going to be one of those tracks that it's really good in qualifying, like for qualifying purposes, but maybe not so good for the race.
Yeah.
There's only one DRS zone, which is in the main straight, and you know.
Ooh, Max with lots of traffic.
Oh yeah, he did a Ferrari, and was that a Mercedes in front of him? Or is it a Mercedes?
I'm not sure if it's got a green tint or it's got black and green. I think
it was a Mercedes.
yeah, one big stop in the whole lap, really, isn't there? Well, maybe two, you could probably argue, but yeah, it's very much a... It doesn't look like a great overtaking track, does it?
Yeah, Perez is looking slow there, behind Bottas at the moment.
Quite possibly had some traffic on that one. I mean, we did see him coming out behind a bunch of cars. And Alonso going fastest in sector 1 and 2. That's odd.
That's something we haven't seen enough.
It is worth saying this is early in Q1 and track evolution will be substantial. Because someone else has already gone faster in sector 2.
Yeah.
Off screen.
I think I saw a stat actually about this. I think the times in FP1, I mean, it's probably going to change in the meantime, but the times in FP1 were 15 seconds slower compared to the pole, or the qualifying in 2021.
15
seconds, yeah.
That's not possible unless they've added a section of track.
Well, I mean,
Mm.
I guess the other cars just the concept of the other cars probably suited this track a lot more than this one.
15, that's a different formula. That's 2 formulas down, really.
It really is.
15. Was it wet? Was it wet in FP1 last year? That last time? Because that would do it.
No, wait, how did I say it? No, supposedly the laps in FP1 this year were 15 seconds slower, not the other way around. Not sure how I said it.
So that would make the lap time like 1 minute 11, 1 minute 12 sort of thing.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So I'm going to Google
Norris.
that. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that because I want to know now.
Yeah.
And so my thinking would be that's got to be something to do with weather.
Didn't rain here, as far as I'm concerned.
Often it rains at Bahrain, like on the practice sessions before they get there for some reason, but never does it in the race.
I mean, Qatar and Bahrain.
I know, but they're still in the same general region. Yeah, we got Leclerc on pole what's it, pole? P1 for Q1. So there's going to be a lot of track evolution. There's no way Max is going to be 4 tenths off unless he's. They're not allowed different engine race modes anymore, but he's definitely not going to be pushing as hard as he could have.
I am seeing here, but I must have seen like a wrong post or something. Yeah.
Someone's obviously been having some fun.
or it could have been me that read 15 instead of 5. That makes a lot more sense. I'm seeing the pole time in 2021 was 1 minute 20.8.
Still substantially quicker than this, isn't it? And we haven't seen such a big delta between the old style cars and the ground effect before. If anything, the ground effect's been generally quicker, or at very least matching it.
Yeah.
Maybe that new track surface and some heavier cars and track evolutions playing a big part, but I don't see it. I don't see the cars accelerating 4 or 5 seconds. So that's.
We are already in the 1 minute 25, and it's.
So that is a hell of a lap from Alonso, as Norris is now going fastest in P1 too. Okay, so we are getting substantial track evolution.
Norris is 2.5 seconds with a bad 2.5 seconds up with a bad second sector where I think he's aborting the lap.
But to be fair, he was.
That can't be right.
Well,
how
he's.
How did he go 2.5 seconds quicker?
He's in 17th. That's why. Because his last lap was 25 seconds slow.
Oh, he must have had a lap invalidated.
Or very least a spin. Yeah, something to do with that. Leclerc time deleted.
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah.
Probably because
yeah, so that's going to be an issue.
His lap invalidated.
So I'm very glad that the FIA are finally trying to be a bit more consistent with track limits. Right, we're not monitoring this one. It doesn't make any difference. Well, if it didn't make any difference, the drivers wouldn't be out there.
Yeah, it's good to see them like just trying to work on that side of things as well, because it's important.
Yeah. So we've seen the Mercedes boys out there, but they haven't set a lap yet. That's weird.
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Does the F1.com have lap counters on there?
I can check that. not showing up here. Oh, there you go.
We've got a lot live timing. That's what we need.
For some reason it didn't show the lap count. Couldn't see it.
Well, it's doing its thing. The old live timing.
Oh, Russell, the exact same lap time as Alonso crossing sector 2. Oh, Piastri's lap time got deleted.
So yeah, this is being a fairly big and consistent thing, really. So,
where has Bottas found all this space?
I think we're looking at a lot of track evolution because Russell goes P2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bottas. Yeah. So Russell, Russell and Hamilton, I think, have had deleted laps because they're both on the 5th lap. So it's obviously catching a few drivers out. I mean, that basically burns a set of tyres for literally no reason after that.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's Mick there, isn't it? Next to somebody. Okay. I swear he looks younger every time we see him. Okay, so in the drop zone at the moment, we have Norris, K-Mag, Lawson, Zhou, and Stroll. I think that's going to be changing a lot.
Yeah, like as you said, with the track evolution that we are seeing here, highly likely that the order is still going to change.
Yeah. And we've got exactly 5 minutes left of the session on the live timing, which I won't be keeping an eye on because that is actually 30 seconds ahead of the footage I'm watching, so I won't be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah.
But it does look like a lot of drivers are going out on fresh tyres, which is fair.
That Perez going into turn 1, he's gonna get traffic again.
Yeah, Albon's lost his lap as well. So it's turn 4 predominantly, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Which is the double right-hander that you see Perez coming at you now. So they're all going wide, trying to keep that apex, that double apex going essentially. So 4 into 5.
Like in these high downforce cars, it must feel really good just to. Because I presume this is probably going to be one of those tracks where you have a really high percentage of throttle usage, or maximum throttle usage throughout the lap, that is. And just do most of these sections flat out. It must feel really good.
I'd imagine so. Leclerc back up to P1.
Norris is 4/10 up on sector.
I should hope so. He's currently sitting in last. He's got to get this lap right, otherwise he's out.
True. Where's Perez gonna finish? 25.9. Good plan. Where did that lap come from?
Well, definitely creeping down to the 24s. I think we might see a pole lap time in the 23s at this rate.
Probably, yeah.
So being sort of in Qatar, there's a lot of sand and, well, frankly, desert around. So it gets on the track and it takes a while for the track to clear up. As we see, Sainz has had a time deleted. Where is he at the moment? 10th.
But it was a 1:42.
Oh, so
The lap time 1:42 was the lead.
oh, he's just ran wide, and then they've gone, yeah, we're just gonna be consistent and delete it. Whatever.
I shouldn't even bother. Well, Lando goes P1.
Oh, yes, he did.
Alonso, fastest first and last sectors. Car is
It's working.
to his liking this weekend.
It does seem to like, without sounding obtuse, likes proper corners, not just 90 left, 90 right. It likes downforce corners.
Took a moment there. Exit of the last corner.
Did a bit.
Oh, that probably cost him the lap time that he needed to go on pole there. That's Max coming out of the last corner as well.
Well, what we might see is, what we may see some of these drivers do a cool down lap and go again. They've got time for that. We'll have to wait and see. Albon, it has improved. What did he get?
Looking too good for the Williams.
No. And he's still got time to do a cool down lap. He hasn't got time for another set of tyres. So has he had a...
Oh,
sorry.
Just about what the lap time validator there. Track limits.
Looks pretty spectacular. So Lando on the white line. Was that invalidated or not?
I think that's when he got the lap invalidated. But yeah, as you said, it seems like it's always a moment there for Gasly.
I think that's an invalid lap. As he takes a trip across the grass. Well,
Yeah. I think that was the same corner as Sargent. Their lap invalidated. Yeah. Same one.
so they're all running wide. Which turn is this? It's
Turn
straight.
15, I
Yeah.
believe.
So yeah, straight out of left-hander into the right-hander. Okay.
I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's because of like the camera angles and such, but for some of like if you didn't have the timies on, I'd say that some of the cars aren't really going that fast.
Yeah, it's got a weird sort of sight to it. It doesn't look like they're particularly moving, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I think it's because the camera's so far away. They got it on a rail which is going across the top of the track, catching
That's
up.
what yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just seen it floating around. Unless it's a drone. Yeah, yeah, that's a bit irritating actually. Max has gone into P1 from somewhere, or has Norris just had his lap time deleted? I don't really know at the moment. It's hard to follow.
Okay, so it's K-Mag, the first driver to cross the line. That's P17. Not good. Not ideal.
Hmm.
Who is that? Is that Liam Lawson? Might be. Yeah, he stays 16.
So we're going to see Joe, Stroll, and Hulk knocked out as well. Because K-Mag's gone.
Hulk jumps into P9.
Strong.
Stroll should really get out of P1. Surely.
Will he though? I mean, they got Alonso in P3. Will Stroll get into Q2? Will he get into Q2? No.
What? Nah, that's crazy.
There've got to be so many people asking questions about Stroll now, because this is getting ridiculous, isn't it? Albon's still out there. He did go for a cool down lap. He's on a hot lap. Can you keep it between the white lines?
Able to display Sargent. Final corner. Ooh, he does. Just about.
How much by? How much by? 1/10. 1/10.
92 milliseconds.
We'll round it up to 1/10.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was harsh. Sargent.
Do you know what? Lewis is a bit lucky to get through there. I mean, he's only P14.
Mm-hmm.
But, do you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised, happy actually for Sargent. If that is the speed of the Williams this weekend, and Albon's only just made it through, I think Sargent can be happy with that.
Yeah.
But Stroll.
I don't know. I think it's starting to be like a
25 22 for Alonso. And it's a 26.3. 1.1 seconds.
I don't know. I think it's really you have to start wondering. Like it's a matter of just psychologically, he's probably not in a good state at the moment. Obviously, the constant
battering,
critics and just with him seeing how Alonso has been performing on that car and he hasn't. I think like just on the long run, he's just losing confidence in himself and everything. But I do feel for him on that side of things. But then again, like he just needs to start improving quickly.
I mean, you got a bunch of drivers now, such as Perez in Red Bull, anyone who's second seat in Red Bull, and Stroll. I mean, if they start falling apart every time they've got... Hey, Nick, by the way.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah. If these drivers start falling apart every time they've got a strong teammate, they don't deserve to be in F1.
Yeah.
I mean... Perez had a shocker last week and we berated him for it because it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Stroll has been off the pace most of the year. He's beaten Alonso a couple of times in the races, a couple of times in qualifying, but across a year that's to be expected at least. But 1.1 seconds.
And even then I'd argue in some of those occasions there were team orders
that
prevented Alonso from being ahead of him. So
what point do you stop putting money in for a guy that has been outperformed by someone who's getting... Yeah. How old's Lance Stroll? 23, 24?
No.
He was 17. He was 17, I think, when he got his first podium.
Yeah, he's 24.
Yeah. So Alonso's getting on for near twice his age. Near twice his age. He should not be outperformed in a team where Stroll basically part owns it. I mean, psychologically, he's got nothing to worry about other than what his teammate is doing and what he's doing.
True. That is true. Like he doesn't have the pressure that same level of pressure that other drivers do in terms of like how they should perform. But yeah, I do agree. Like he's still showing that he's very inconsistent.
I think he just punched the wall.
Well, I'd assume it's understandable, isn't it? Like, because at the end of the day, like if he's still giving his all, like to get a good qualifying result and things don't go his way, like it should be understandably frustrating.
Incident involving Hamilton, Tsunoda, Lawson, Piastri noted, failing to follow race directions, maximum lap time.
I forgot what that maximum lap time thing was.
What the rule is, or what the time is?
On what that is, yeah, that rule.
The rule is there's a minimum lap time set to stop drivers just coasting around the lap to keep the tyres pretty cool.
Okay.
And if they've exceeded that without exceptional circumstances being to blame, like they're literally getting out of someone's way the entire lap round, they go, okay, that's fine, you've got a reason for it, it's fine. But if you're on track by yourself and you say do a 5-minute lap, there's something wrong there. So yeah, but it is worth saying on the Stroll topic. I mean, we're looking at Alex Albon, and quite rightly in the Red Bull, we gave him a lot of stick for his performances. However, he went away, he's rebuilt himself, and he's better outside of that toxic environment at Red Bull, which now you can see Perez suffering with it.
Yeah.
But Stroll hasn't got that problem. In fact, he's probably got too many people telling him he's great when he isn't. And
Well,
what bothers me is there's been a lot of noise being made recently about him going over to tennis, hasn't there?
hmm
If
yeah,
you,
but I think
yeah, if
that's really seems silly to me, to be fair.
yeah,
I mean, if it's something that he states or that he stated previously, then just go follow your passion at the end of the day. But if it's just like rumors based off what people, random people are saying, then that's a bit silly. But
if
in terms of racing, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if he said it, then that says a lot to me about his commitment. Simple as that.
In a way, I guess.
Oh, I'd like to go and do tennis at some point. Well, you've got a multi-billion-pound backing into F1. I mean, you can afford to be a bit of a playboy and have a lot of fun with things. If you want to be a professional tennis player, it's one or the other. It's not both. And after someone has spent probably $500 million setting up and Aston Martin buying new facilities and employing people, so his son could race it. Oh, I want to be a tennis player. What do you think that says to the company at large? I mean, if someone around him has said it, misquoted him saying, "I like playing tennis," I'll let that go. But if he has said it, that to me is, I think, not disgraceful, but it is definitely what the hell and why you. I mean, if you don't want to be an F1, go.
Yeah, in a way, like you see your parents just investing so much in you, and then I don't like this. Which, I mean, it can happen.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. A bit tough. I'll go and try tennis. It's going to be harder over there.
I mean, I'd say, considering the amount of money that is involved in this, it is quite bad. But then again, like, as a parent, I'd say, like, if he feels like that's his dream, or that he wants to try that out, like, just support him. But obviously, I think in this situation, with the money involved and everything that surrounds it, it's a bit bad.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And I was saying something before, and then I forgot. Oh yeah, regarding him as well. We just close this topic because
he's out now.
The fact that Aston Martin are going to compete with the Valkyrie in the hypercar class at WEC 2025, and recent rumors that stated that Lawrence Stroll wanted to sell the team to the main sponsor for 800 million euros, could maybe indicate that Lance still has a door kind of open if he wants to keep racing outside of F1, that is.
We'll see, I guess.
But yeah.
WEC might be a better place for him.
Yeah, we've seen obviously that transition for a few drivers, and they've done quite well. At the end of the day, if you're just not quite good enough for F1, it doesn't mean that you're a terrible driver by any means.
Yeah, it just might mean you're better off in a different formula. Yeah. No, which is fair. But he's not coping with F1. Anywho, enough of Lance Stroll. We're into Q2.
He has 3P1, purple sectors 1 and 3.
That was because he was I was going to say that's because he was the first one to set a lap, but I get it.
Oh, I didn't even realise that.
It's always purple when they're first through it.
I thought they had already done a lap. That's why I said
it. Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I thought they had still first steps. Right.
That's all good. But he's currently P1. But we have Ocon has just gone up to P4.
I'm very surprised with Bottas.
Yeah, he's had some pace round here, isn't he? Did you say Alfa Romeo were one of the teams with a upgrade?
Well, they might have got upgrades, but even then, it was only just one.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Well, Alpine brought 3. AlphaTauri, I think, brought 2, and if it's Alfa Romeo the other team, which I can't remember, they've only brought one. That's all I know.
Okay. Or either way, he's doing well in that Alfa Romeo, which is a bit of a dog of a car, but I'd still expect him to be out for Q2. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'd be surprised if Albon makes it into Q3.
Yeah.
At this point.
Same with probably Yuki. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Mercedes are going to have to pull something out now because they need to pick up their game as well. Okay, that was weird.
Yeah.
Text
was overlapping, wasn't it?
Yep. It looks like even the FAA are going, oh god, we've lost track of all these times. Okay.
Well,
So
Hulkenberg could be out as well. I'm not really sure that car has that much space in it to make it to Q3.
so what's Norris done here?
Oh.
Oh, that's Yuki, isn't it? Well, that's a flat-out block, I'm afraid. So that's a. If the rules are to be implemented consistently, and that was Norris's hot lap, that is a penalty for Yuki.
Yeah. Has to be, unfortunately.
Yeah. If Norris was on an in-lap, he might get away with it.
I presume he was on his flying lap because.
Hello, Russell's just
Russell?
okay. All right.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, I was not expecting Mercedes to have any sort of 24 pace. Okay.
Okay.
I did hear a stat earlier on that the Mercedes boys are the closest pairing in qualifying pace this year. Well, let's face it, it's not Alonso and Stroll, and it's definitely not Max and Perez, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
My other guess would probably be either Piastri and Norris or Gasly and Ocon.
Yeah, I was thinking the Alpines as well. Genuinely was. I saw a title for a video, I haven't checked it out yet, and it said Alpine, the worst F1 team, ?
Yeah, there's a lot of instability now. I think obviously they have two headquarters, like one in France and one in England.
Is that the Brixton one? No, that's Mercedes, isn't it? Doesn't really matter.
Sorry?
I was thinking, is that the Brixton one? But that's Mercedes, isn't it?
No, that's Mercedes, yeah. That's they have it on Enstone, I believe. Yeah. Well, and there were a lot of disagreements regarding on how the car should be progressing, like the changes in management as well. There's a really bad environment at the team, apparently.
Yeah, there's a whole host of problems. There's a lot of problems with Alpine that's not even worth getting into. Essentially, I think we could just probably all agree that it's not managed very well, and the car is not great either. The best thing about them is the drivers, and even then, I don't like Ocon. Gasly has been a surprise, really good deal the last couple of years. Other than that,
but even then, I'd say like Gasly, considering it's his first year at the team, he's been somewhat having the measure of Ocon recently, at least. I think Ocon peaked at the beginning of the season where he got that podium at Monaco. Like, it's really hard for me to find any more standout performances from him.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that.
Not saying that there aren't, but it's just really hard. They're just really hard to find.
Yeah. Right, in Q2, Norris is currently sat at the bottom, so I'm guessing that lap of his was either blocked by Snowder or we had a deleted lap as well. It could be either or both. So
I think it was like just the block of Snowder.
Right. So there's that. And Bottas has obviously fallen from like P2 straight to P14, so it's obviously there's both track evolution going on still, and it's sorting itself out more now. There's no way that Sainz should be down there, or Piastri, or Norris.
Piastri and Norris as well.
Yeah. I'm going to predict Bottas, Hulk, Ocon, Tsunoda, and Albon out.
I can agree with those. Yeah, I'd say the same.
We'll see how close that is to reality.
couldn't quite tell there. Did signs just slow down? I didn't even understand. Like with these camera angles, it's really difficult to understand. That's okay.
Yeah, I was about to say he doesn't have to keep looking at one and going to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that caught me out as well.
Surprised. I'd be really surprised if either of them got knocked out.
So here's Carlos Sainz's replay. Okay, so he's round wide. Yeah, and that's
Sand.
yeah. It's not marbles, it's sand out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh, he had a moment.
that's Leclerc.
Wow.
That's Leclerc. Yeah.
Carl had a moment. Like, there's the Italian Jesus.
Giovinazzi's back.
Yeah, he's their reserve driver.
Oh yeah, of course he is. Another driver I do not rate. Again, not terrible. If you put him and Stroll in a WEC team, they'll probably do very well. But F1,
yeah, he was pretty lackluster, I'd say.
yeah, I think
Not that he had really good cars to work with as well, but
yeah, I mean average at best.
yeah.
Which for an F1 for a normal driver is fantastic. In F1, it's
Yeah.
okay. So just under
Norris, purple second.
just under 3.5 minutes ago. Norris is waking up.
Piastri's about to finish the lap. That was very close to track limits.
I wish they stopped switching between teammates.
Okay, P1. P1 for Piastri. What about Norris? Takes it away from him, in presume. Yeah. Not by much, actually.
See, that's good. And I can see Max is on the outlap now. Usually about now, I'd be saying, why is Red Bull going out there and wasting another set of tyres? Track evolution around here seems pretty significant.
Well, there's not that big of a difference in lap times between, well, Yuki and I'd say that top four.
I'd say everyone sort of rustle upwards should be safe, reasonably comfortably.
I can't see the
But
delta for Max, like the difference he has for the pole time.
yeah, well,
Oh yeah, he shouldn't even bother.
you know he's at the top there
3
somewhere.
milliseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, even then, like now that you say it, I think like all the other drivers who have to pull off the laps or the lifetime, just to knock him out. I think.
Each and every person, yeah, who's stuck behind a Ferrari. Yeah, I hope that Ferrari is on a fast lap, and Max is just being. So.
Oh, that is not looking good, Carlos.
Do you know what? I think Max is on an outlap, Carlos is on an inlap, neither of them are priority, and Max just wanted in front of him. And Carlos didn't want to let him through. So they ended up racing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should be into the last lap for most drivers now.
Bottas is ahead of Yuki's lap time so far. Will that be enough to take him out of that bottom 5? Oh, catching up with some traffic there.
Oh, offline, you can just see how dirty it is.
Yeah. There's a lot of like sand. Stays within the track limits.
Max has
Okay,
gone
Verstappen
fastest.
goes P1.
Yeah. Not a big shot, he's only increased by about 0.2. Maybe 2.5. Ooh.
Oh, that might not be enough, you know. Perez as well.
Well, Hulk's not done it. He's still got one more lap potentially.
Bottas?
Yeah. Bottas into P9. So Sainz, Perez, Hulk.
Perez.
Okay, Perez has gone up.
That would, wow, that is not good.
No. So, okay, if Sainz is on a lap, then he might get a chance to knock out Bottas.
Well, that because he just finished one.
Depends if they're going for a double go. Well, Sonoda's finished. It's all going to depend. It's got to depend on if Sainz is going for 2 laps.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he is.
Well, the incident between Sainz and Verstappen is going to be investigated after the session.
It's fair enough, really.
Driving.
Ocon 5th.
Ocon P5. Okay. Perez is at risk, I guess, if any of the drivers that are in the bottom 5 are doing a lap. Lewis jumps into P1.
Where did that come from? Has he found the nitrous bottle again?
Oh, Albon. No, off the track.
Yeah. Trying too hard.
What about Perez? Is he on the lap? Oh, and he kind of got in the way of Alonso there.
Well, so that means Perez is out in Q2.
And so is Carlos.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Well, we were both wrong with the predictions of that one.
Okay.
So what signs his excuse? Didn't hear that.
I don't know. He got up to traffic or something. Then again.
Well, every time we saw the Ferraris, they were running wide, weren't they? So the Ferraris looked like a little bit of a handful this weekend. I mean, Leclerc's like 7/10 down on the others, and P8. So he's not a million miles away from Sainz.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say, fair play to Bottas.
Hmm? I mean, he's showing he's still got the speed and the skill. But I mean, he's always a bit of a Jarno Trulli, a qualifying specialist, but without the ability to hold people up.
Yeah. I mean, well, Trulli was Trulli trained, wasn't he?
Exactly. He was great at holding people up.
I guess he did.
Yeah. Whereas Bottas was like, right, in Mercedes, right, keep Max behind you. Oh, he's already in front of me. Ugh. You can't even get the radio message to him quick enough for him to be overtaken.
Oh my god, Yuki must be swearing in every possible language.
For
milliseconds, that's... Oof, that's difficult.
Yeah, faster than a mosquito fart. Wow. Well, to be fair, P11 in an Alpha Tauri, it's respectable. Where was Lawson? He was ahead of Lawson, he was out in Q1. So, that's respectable from Yuki, given it is an Alpha Tauri.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's still a pretty good performance. I think like between him and Bottas to make it into Q3, I think was, you know, kind of a pretty matched fight. But I just wasn't expecting to see Checo and Sainz getting knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, Perez, as much I like the guy, but he's floundering, drowning. Think of any other water-related memes, and he's in the swimming pool at the moment while Max is out on track. Perez has given himself a right good dunking every time he gets out there, and he's the only one doing it to himself.
Yeah.
Unless you can prove that someone got in his way on each lap.
Oh, he's putting this helmet on again.
And are we expecting someone to get a deleted lap time? No, wait, 2 people have to get deleted lap times for him to go back up to Q3.
But you remove this helmet and then put it back on.
Maybe they're disputing a deleted lap. We'll see. We shall see. I mean, I'm looking at an advert at the moment, so...
Oh, he took his helmet off again.
Well, did he think it was Suzuka?
But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I feel like he's much better than what he's been able to show recently. Obviously, I wouldn't put him in the same level as Max and some of the drivers that somewhat that same level of performance.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Replay of Lance. Back to Q1 and bang. I think. No, he hasn't punched the wall. He's pushed his mechanic. Oh. I thought he punched the wall, but in slow motion, that looks like he's pushed someone out of the way. That's going to get him in trouble. Then again, if Daddy Stroll owns the team, HR is him. But even then, he doesn't own it. He owns... Is he a majority stakeholder or just the biggest stakeholder?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Let me check that.
Either way, Sainz is still sitting in the car. So, I wonder if they're waiting to see if anyone gets lap times deleted or penalties. Okay, so they're showing a Stroll again. Check this out.
Yeah.
So the mechanic points at him, shakes his finger, and then just kind of gets in Stroll's way.
Still see him on the picture. Don't know what happened.
It didn't look good. Okay. Yeah. Either way, Stroll hot under the collar. I wonder if he's doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. We'll find out in due course, I hope. But Lewis ending up P1 there, wasn't it? Where did that come from?
I don't know either. It's like, and especially like with Russell showing, well, or at least showing before that he seemed to be quicker than Lewis. It was a Q1 and practice.
Yeah, that was a little bit shocking, really.
I'd like to see his onboard for that.
So, okay, this is what happened to Sergio. He's run a little bit wide, then way over the curb, then way over the other curb. So he's gone over what he's ran wide, hit one curb really hard, and then ran wide on the preceding exit curb. So, yeah, if we give him Stroll a bashing, we've really got to say that is not good enough from Perez. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin Brundle, in an interview with Christian Horner before the qualifying, said to Christian that Max could be leading the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship if they just ran the one car.
Yeah.
Says it all, doesn't it? That car is that dominant. I still think that car isn't super dominant. Yeah. You're just getting everything out of it without failing.
That is true. Oh, I'm seeing like Lewis is on board. It was so hooked up, like he barely did any corrections on that lap as well. Thus far, I've only really seen like just a minor correction. It was really hooked up. Felt like the car was on rails.
Good old Lewis. That's what we need to see from him. We need to see him, at least in P2, giving Max a challenge.
Yeah. Let's see if this pace translates into Q3, which I hope it does. Let's see. Mechanic on the side of this car looked like Bottas for a second.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Wearing too many clothes to be Bottas.
That's how Bottas made it into Q3. He's actually using a disguised Mercedes.
He's saving weight by not wearing his overalls. At a certain point, this just starts getting disturbing, doesn't it? If you need to know what we're on about, please just check out Valtteri Bottas' Instagram or Twitter or whatever the hell he uses.
Or don't, if you don't want to be traumatized.
If you don't want to see Bottas' arse, don't check it out. I do like if that is become a meme and he's the one that started it. I mean, I really appreciate that, but do I want to see it? No.
No.
No. I like his sense of humour. I mean, Alfa Romeo, I don't care.
Yeah, he's been a lot more relaxed since he changed to Alfa.
Yeah. It's good to see him in Q3. It really is.
Mm-hmm. That's probably his first Q3 appearance of the season.
I want to say it's his second.
Where would that first one be then?
I don't know, I've just got a feeling he's done it before. Oh, Leclerc's dropped it coming out of turn 4, I think. So that's that lap time invalidated. There's the first run. Saying it, was that an outlap? That might have just been his outlap.
No, probably.
But he definitely ran super wide. And he's got Lewis right up behind him. What is it with everyone that was going into the back of a Ferrari today?
I don't know, but it's not looking good, is it? Let me see. Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas.
Apparently he has already made 2 Q3 appearances this season.
Oh, 2. Okay. Somehow.
Wow, look at this stat. Alonso, 16 times in Q3, so he's never been eliminated. This surely can't be right.
Being fair, that car hasn't been slow. I think he got through in 10th in like Singapore though.
Yeah, because it says here that he's not been eliminated in Q1 or Q2 so far this season.
Okay, well we had Bottas taking pole, then we have Alonso taking pole, and now we have Norris on pole. With Leclerc 30 seconds behind the others.
I think I'm gonna keep a close eye on Alonso.
Norris's time has been deleted.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
He's had a lap time deletion like
in
every session, hasn't he?
He definitely has. Hey CBD.
Hello.
What are the standings looking like? Yes.
Wow, and that lap time would have put him almost 5 tenths ahead of Piastri.
Yeah, as Verstappen goes into P1. Shocker. Long story short, CBD, the times are going all over the place at the moment. They're setting laps all the time, and the FIA are deleting bunches of them. So by the time we've noticed someone's gone pole, it's been deleted.
Yeah, Russell P2.
Thank you for the follow, Anna, please. Welcome to the community. So yeah, where
Sector 2.
Still goes P2 though.
Go ahead, yeah. Looking good for me.
Anna plays. I'm Midnight, and over there is our Pedro, our Mr. Saturday. But this is Friday, so we're not going to talk about that. Qualifying's usually on Saturdays. And to reply, how you doing? If you're a Friends fan, you'll get it. We're doing all good here. We're enjoying a bit of qualifying. TBD says, I've got to get my laptop and check this out. I would recommend it, my man. I mean, we've got 5 minutes left of the session? Yeah, for about 5-6 minutes left. Yeah, there's Leclerc yeeting. Yeah.
How did he not spin there? I will never know. Because that back end completely stepped out.
Fast reactions turned into the slide.
In a high-speed corner as well. Piastri jumping over the curve there.
Doing his best to wear down that plank underneath.
I mean, that's why that plank is there.
So, okay, there was an Aston Martin. That was Alonso.
Oh, but
Norris.
Norris wasn't warned about the.
I think he just got out of the way though. Any red flag, CBD? No, none yet. Stroll was out in Q1 though, so he hasn't had a chance to do it in each session yet.
Logan was unlucky not to make Q2, to be fair.
That is true.
really close to Albon today.
Okay, so Max is looking quick as per normal. Where is Hamilton's lap time relative to what he did in Q2? So he's obviously probably got a bit more speed in there.
I think I have a lap. Well, I might not have a lap. I'll have to check. Let me check. So Hamilton's time was a. It's not true.
Well, Leclerc said his time deleted. That was on 1 minute 52 though. So I mean,
So Hamilton said a 1:24, 3:81.
24, 3. Okay, so it's roughly what he's done now. So he's not going to be that much faster. Max has just unleashed all the dogs of war, isn't he? Okay.
He's going out again.
And it asks who is from Qatar? None of us. This is we're currently watching the. Is it Qataris? Qatarian. It's the Qatari.
Qataris.
That sounds like a race from Star Trek. Anywho, we're watching the Qatar qualifying session for the Formula 1, of course. Are you a fan? I presume so if you're tuning into a F1 podcast. So Norris is the only person not to set a time currently.
Why is that Mercedes just stopped midway in the pit lane?
Yeah, that looks weird. Well, Max did that.
Russell.
Yeah, Max did that in Singapore, and he didn't get penalty for it. So, doesn't look like he's stalled. That was weird. Okay, well, so we got the drivers coming out for the final time. This is the sharp end.
Yeah. Russell's on a new set of softs, it looks like.
And just with that cue, CBD's just said every time Norris sets a good lap, it's gone from track limits.
Yeah.
Like in Imola. Yeah, exactly that. That was last year, wasn't it?
It has been the story of disqualifying for him.
To be fair, to set a valid lap time, you have to set it between the white lines.
True.
I still believe they need to do something a little bit more. Why is the track? Oh, okay. They need to do something a little bit more dynamic with the track, not just white lines, but stop the drive. If the drivers run wide, they lose time for some reason. But yeah, a bit of grass on the outside. They'll soon stop going on it.
It's a bit too close to Alonso there, I think. Is that one?
Well, it's not Stroll.
I mean, I'm just not sure if that was an Aston.
I think it was an Aston.
I wasn't paying enough attention.
Alright, so here we go. Norris is this Norris or Piastri? Green helmet. Norris.
Norris just started his lap.
Okay, so he's going to be the one I'm paying attention to. He's the only one who can really get on the front row. Maybe Piastri.
Look at the Alonso's lap then.
Yeah. They're keeping us on board for this one. Maybe they keep us all the way around. Just don't step out in this corner, Norris. It's good. He's leaving the track limits quite a big margin, so he's not quick. He's still probably P2 worthy though.
Larry, they're from Alonso.
If Alonso can get into the top four, I'd call that a success, to be fair for him.
Yeah.
Bottas up to P6.
Good
effort.
I'm really impressed with Valtteri today.
Same. But sadly, that car will be falling through the back tomorrow. Leclerc P4. which is Piastri down to P5.
Alonso, so 124 something.
Right.
76.
Final lap for everyone now. Alonso third.
Norris second.
Yep. Oh, that's pretty close to Max. Just under 3 tenths. It's a good effort.
That is a little bit luck.
So,
Piastri.
yeah, on board with Russell. Can he get into the top 3? Here we go.
Moment.
Third. What is that behind Norris? Tenth and a half.
Piastri now about to finish the lap.
Come on, Piastri. Come on, get.
Okay. Just displaced Hamilton.
Okay.
But he's on a lap.
Yeah, where is Lewis? Leclerc's not going to be improving. Bottas is not going to be improving. Gasly, is he on a lap at all?
Where are they
Oh, there you go.
Max going on the pit lane?
I don't know. Gasly's just gone P8.
Who's the rest? Oh, Hamilton went into the pits, so he probably aborted that lap.
That's strange. Well, maybe he wasn't going faster. Gasly went up to P8 as well. So that would be it.
I presume Charles isn't on the lap then. He's probably going back to the pits.
Yeah, they don't seem to be doing 2 runs.
Yeah. Well. Oh, nothing.
I think he's probably a little bit annoyed the fact the lap times kept getting taken away from him. Hopefully we've got no more of those. So, did he keep it in the white lines here?
I think so.
Oh,
That moment there.
that might be gone. That might be... Yeah, that's gone.
Wow.
So that would be Norris starting 10th. Russell P2.
Oh, Max had a massive moment as well
Oh, no wonder he didn't finish that lap.
in the second run. Yeah. I mean, he didn't even need to go out in the first place.
Okay, Lewis as well. Whoa!
Ooh.
All crossed up. I mean, he was full on lock like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see where that puts Lando then, if they're going to delete his lap or not.
I think they've got to. I mean, if you go, unlike, all right, including like GT7 and whatnot, if you go wide, it doesn't matter if you've gone there by mistake or not. You've still gone wide.
True.
So
Maybe that goes by the reasoning. Well, if you wouldn't have made that mistake if you weren't pushing that hard, kind of thing.
exactly,
And that would be their reason.
yeah, you overstepped your ability and or the car's ability.
Yeah, like I feel like it's harsh, but it's
Consistent.
acceptable.
At the very least, if it's consistent, that's all you need.
Yeah.
So, by my reckoning, that would be Norris down to P10.
But that car, he's showing that he clearly has the pace on that car. So let's see if that translates into the race. Then it could make things exciting.
I'm keeping an eye on the live timing to see if they update it.
Yeah. Tries to see if Fairley interacted with Alonso, but those two have been criticizing each other on the media recently.
Who?
Just talking about each other.
Who and Alonso?
Alonso and Lando.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they'd have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, because, well, it's not necessarily. It didn't start with them attacking each other, and they're not necessarily attacking each other, but I think Alonso made a statement about the fact that, yeah, McLaren was looking good now, but that didn't give them any guarantees that they'd be good for the upcoming races. In regards to whether Aston Martin would be able to keep their place in the constructors or McLaren would overtake them.
Okay.
Which is probably going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got two drivers fighting on at least 9 out of 10 cylinders, where Alonso's the only one fighting in that team.
Well, you know, that sort of statement you just made there, It's expected from us who are fans, but Lando actually said that and said that we are currently fighting two drivers. So well, that wasn't too good from him, I'd say.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, it's been confirmed. I think he's been demoted to P10.
Yeah, he has. On the live timing, he's down to P10.
Yeah.
So, qualifying is officially, at least at this instance, before any more updates, Verstappen, Russell, Piastri are your top three, followed by Hamilton, Alonso, Leclerc, Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, and Norris, who effectively didn't set a time in Q3 despite using 2 sets of tyres.
Yeah, that would have been P2. That's really harsh. But they've been, talking about each other on the media, and then Lando said something along the lines of Alonso is always like this, blah blah blah. I'm not sure if things are bad between them two. I don't assume so. It's more of like, just trash talk in a way.
I would just ignore it, quite frankly.
But yeah.
I think it's just, there's not much going on there. Just ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. I don't think there's really much to say about this other than it's sprint race tomorrow.
Yeah. Shocking results for Carlos and Checo, Stroll in a way.
There's a message for you here, Pedro. It's from CBD. It says, "Yo, I heard Verstappen's post-qualify interview and thought it was Pedro talking." That's pretty good, that. Oh, bless you, man. And CBD, we've got some TTR stuff coming on next week, so I will see you for that and go from there. What's to talk about in this qualifying session other than George Russell's hair just doing a funny backflip? So
Mercedes had a sudden turn of pace, even though they're nowhere near the Red Bull. They're looking a lot better than I think everyone expected, and so is Alonso.
Yeah, what's the best way of putting it? Respectable. That's a word I keep using today. And I think Russell's just found out Piastri is EP3 because he just gave him that sort of side eye. Don't usually pay much attention to this, but it's quite interesting. Anywho, for the second half of the table, I'm just going to say it quickly. 11th was Tsunoda, followed by Sainz, who was a surprise knockout. Perez was a surprise knockout as well. Then Albon, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Stroll, Lawson, Magnussen, and Zhou.
Yeah.
Is it me, or does that bottom half of the grid just seem odd?
Kind of, in a way. I mean, fair play to Lawson for being 4 tenths ahead of Max, considering he's never, it's the first time he's driving here. It's going to be for most of the tracks anyway, but still, he wasn't too far off Lance as well.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Look.
Wait.
What?
Piastri got promoted to P6.
Has that just happened?
I've just seen it on the timing sheets. All of a sudden, it's Russell and Hamilton P2 and 3, Alonso P4, Leclerc P5, and Piastri in P6.
Huh? I'm still looking at the live timing, and it still says Piastri in 3rd.
On my feed, it's showing that Piastri is in P6 now. It literally just changed now.
F1, what are you doing?
I don't know if, to be fair, this is a shambles. Oh yeah, it said, midway through the interview, I seen the FIA saying car 81 delete track limits at turn 14, which has pretty much been where they've been getting this validation, hasn't it?
Well,
most of them.
Well, the live timing, it still hasn't cropped up yet.
Oh, strange, because I have the lap time just on, just to check the order as he went, and then all of a sudden I see Piastri just jumping. Ooh, behind the same corner as Lando.
Yeah, it does appear to be, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, it does look like he's lost the time as well, but it looks like they've stopped updating the live timing then.
Yeah.
What I was about to say before that, I was about to say in the top 10, with the exception of, well, actually, bear with me on this one. It does look like one driver from each team is doing much better than the other in almost every team, with the exception of Mercedes, who seem to be relatively close together, and Alpine. There's one Red Bull, there's one Aston Martin, there's one Ferrari, there's one Alfa Romeo. But obviously, the Alpines are together, the Mercs are together. But from looking throughout the whole field, Zhou is massively disproportionate to Bottas. Same with Verstappen and Perez, and the same again with Alonso and Stroll. It looks like one driver in most teams is having a bit of a shocker.
Well, I think we should also take this into consideration. I think it's also Zhou's first time, because he wasn't on the grid in 2021, was he?
True, but it's also Piastri's first time here.
Yeah.
He's also.
I mean, don't want to compare the Alpha to the McLaren. But yeah, I'm not saying that it isn't bad, because it's still pretty bad. Zhou is almost 4 tenths behind Magnussen in P19. So,
yeah, I think probably Zhou's had a shocker.
Yeah.
So, but that's a poor qualifying from him.
Yeah, that's really poor from him.
Yeah,
I agree.
So the only one in the bottom 5 I'm not disappointed. All right, 2 that I'm not disappointed with are Lawson and Sargent.
Mm-hmm.
So, but even then, Lawson's 7 places behind Tsunoda. That's a bit disappointing, really, isn't it?
I mean, it isn't, because like he only had one practice session to really get adjusted to a track where he's never drove at before. So.
Do you know what? Now you've put it that way, that makes a lot more sense. Zhou 1 practice session, Lawson 1 practice session. Did Stroll miss Qatar through COVID?
I believe he might have. I can't remember. I knew that he missed Saudi Arabia.
Hamilton missed Bahrain outer circuit, didn't he?
Yes, because that's when Russell replaced him.
Yeah.
That was 2020.
That was as well. That was, yeah.
2021, I think. I can't quite tell now. Lance didn't drive here.
So Zhou's never driven here before. K-Mag has never driven here before because he wasn't in the team, was he?
Yeah, 2021 he wasn't.
Zhou, K-Mag, Lawson, possibly Stroll, Sargent definitely, Hulkenberg probably as well.
Yeah.
Albon was in the... Yeah, it does kind of look like all the people that haven't driven here before have suffered.
Yeah.
Then again, Alonso didn't drive?
He did.
Oh no, he was at Alpine. He was at Alpine, wasn't
he? Yeah, he got a podium there. The only podium of the season?
Probably.
Was it? I think, yeah.
It does look like that bottom block, because, yeah. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
it's understandable. Most of them, well, I'd say at least like Sargent and Lawson, apart from being rookies, like they barely had any time to practice.
Okay, well, it was just an observation anyway. But obviously, the main observation now is we have lost Norris's and Piastri's fast lap, so we're with a Red Bull Mercedes front row essentially.
Yeah, that could really spice things up for the racing.
I would genuinely agree with you if Verstappen hadn't been absolutely impeccable all year, with the exception of one race where he's been passed into the first corner.
Yeah.
I can't remember. That was where Norris...
Silverstone. Silverstone.
Yeah, Norris did him, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
For 7 laps or something like that.
Yeah. No, but I'd say, I mean, it's kind of been still, hasn't it? Just like Verstappen and then just everything else, or everyone else really, just doing their race.
Mm.
And, you know, I think for that everything else, like the McLaren's being, well, displaced in a way, can really shake things up in that sense for the race.
Being the fact we've got a sprint and a Grand Prix this week, yeah, I hope Norris and Piastri can get back to a more reasonable position. But here's something, I'm wondering if we're going to see a pit stop during the sprint.
Yeah, might be because of the high tire leg. I think one of the, well, with the resurfacing, one of the parts of the track it can really make tire wear a lot higher than it would normally be.
Hmm.
So,
and again, they are going to be on a lot lighter fuel tanks, so that will take the wear down.
Yeah, but don't forget that this is qualifying for Sunday, not for tomorrow.
Oh God, it is as well, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
I'm still working off the old rules where they went qualifying, sprint, and then that sprint was form the grid. Okay, so this is for the Grand Prix. Now they've got qualifying tomorrow morning for the sprint race. Oh God, F1.
They've been changing the rules so much that it's easy to lose track of everything.
Do you know what though? I still maintain I think they should bring back in and use those hard tyres, medium tyres, soft tyres. I like that rule.
You know, that could be cool for the sprint weekends actually. For the qualifying, you know, not necessarily for sprint qualifying, but for the main Grand Prix. When you have like the sprint weekends, you could make qualifying a lot more interesting by adding that factor in.
Either way, that's something for them to figure out, not us. Oh dear. Any standout performances in there for you?
Well, I think I'd say Bottas. Really.
Yeah.
How bad the car is. Well, I'll just go like on positive points of view. Like even though he's down in P16, I'd say Sargent's performance was quite good. He was less than a tenth behind Albon, who barely made it into Q2. And, I think that was a pretty good showing from him.
Agree with you.
Then I think Tsunoda in P11, I think he was unlucky not to make it into Q3. He was only 4 milliseconds behind Bottas. Well, I guess we'll have to see because he had that incident with one of the Ferrari cars. I'm not sure if he might get a penalty, a grid penalty from that.
I guess we'll find out.
Then I think from a negative point of view, I'd say obviously Sainz, Checo, and to an extent as we've discussed before, like Stroll and Zhou.
Yeah. I'm going to add K-Mag and maybe even Lawson to that as well, but you could probably pass it off as it's them, but explainable, the fact they've only had one practice session around here, and it does look a little bit windy there. It is a tricky ass circuit, I mean, let's face it, and they've probably had lap times delete, but then again, it's the same for everyone. But I do want to find out what was going to happen with Stroll, because we did see off track him having a what I thought was him punching the wall, but it turns out it's him shoving one of the mechanics. So I'd like to know what happens with that. I don't often care for off-track exploits. If someone wants to have a little tiff in a shouting match, I don't really care. But if he genuinely has just yeeted one of his mechanics into a wall, I'd like to know what happened, actually.
Yeah, or it looked like that. Well, we couldn't see it clearly because of the camera angle, but it did look like it.
It was a shove going on.
Yeah, there was a shove, but I'm not sure it fully happened there. Yeah. See what was the outcome of that?
Okay, but yeah, I would agree with you on the plus and the negative points, but we are left with the Thanos, the inevitable, I am inevitable meme, And Max stepping on pole for the Grand Prix on Sunday.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, you probably just heard me roll my eyes. Yeah. Other than that, we will sort out a schedule because I'd completely forgotten about there being 2 qualifying sessions. We will sort something out for tomorrow.
Yep.
I know Sarah's working, isn't she?
Yes.
Okay. We'll sort something out because either we're going to have to try and do... If we can't do the sprint qualifying, we'll do the sprint itself. But we'll sort out what's going on from there.
Well, either way, I can do the coverage of both groups.
Works for me.
For any reason.
Otherwise, tomorrow at very least we will have the sprint race. Is it called a race or just sprint?
No, you have sprint qualifying and the sprint race.
So it is called a race now, not just the sprint.
Yeah.
Because they called the first year it was sprint qualifying, wasn't it? They keep changing the terms. The first year
it was sprint race.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was sprint qualifying for the Grand Prix. So they've changed it. Yeah. Anywho, it's not confusing. So we'll, at very least, we'll be doing the sprint, as in the coverage for the watch along for that, and we'll be back for the pre-GP around this course tomorrow night. So around about half 9, we'll sort of be getting into our practice and qualifying, going from there. Other than that, it's a dominated weekend of F1.
Yes.
So it's good. It's good. But on that note, I'm going to say, Pedro, thank you for being here alongside myself on this one. Technically, I've joined you, but either or, it's all good. But yeah, you get to do your Saturday business tomorrow, and we go from there.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you to Anna Plays for the follow. I highly recommend you give the Pedro a follow if you want to see more, at very least tomorrow, from either of us regarding the coverage. And a Sarah Hawkey, who was the third of the sort of Team Nighthawk. So we'll all be around one way or the other. And CBD, always a pleasure. Nick, thanks for popping in as well, mate. Other than that, I think that's it for Sapping on Pole. Shocker!
Wow. Who would have thought?
Let's move on. On that note, catch you later.
Bye, everyone.